Hey everybody, it's Deanna, and I am live on Ask Anything Friday. This is your chance to hop on and ask me any questions you want. It's like open office hours. So I'm here, and just wait for a second for you guys to join on. I do get some questions through the week, either through Messenger or text or email. So I will be answering some of those questions. But if you are here and you have a question, be sure to comment. I also posted, I shared this in the group initially with Fearless Entrepreneurship. I'm using a new platform. We've kind of talked about that before. I'm using StreamYard now. And hey, Lisa. So I initially shared this to the group to keep it in there, but after I did that, I saw a notification that I would not be able to see any comments, which defeats the purpose of Ask Anything Friday. So I do know that if you do have questions, or if you're watching this on a share, that you need to come over to actually my page, Deanna Hinn, Sassy Girl Entrepreneur, and ask the questions on that for me to be able to see it, because I won't see your question otherwise. So, hi, Lisa, how's it going? I'm curious what the weather is doing out there. Out here, it's a little cool, but it's sunny. So, hopefully you guys are having some good weather, because I heard snow for you. So I hope that was wrong. Anyhow, I'm going to start with one of the questions that I did receive over the week. It was someone who reached out, and they are just starting out a business and building a website. And I think that a lot of you are doing that right now. I know my website development has really grown through this pandemic. I think a lot of people are at home, and either they're not working, right? And they have all this extra time. So they're actually looking to finally update their current website, or start that business that they've put on the back burner, which is super cool. And so it's really exciting to see all this. So one person in particular reached out to me, and they were just curious what platform to use. There's so many out there. There's GoDaddy, there's Wix, there's Squarespace, and of course I use WordPress all the time. So I like WordPress. I think WordPress is a great platform. It's my favorite out of all the platforms that are there. And the reason that it's my favorite, and I always explain this, it's like if you bought a castle, right? But you only got, if you're on Wix or GoDaddy, you only got the key to like one or maybe a few rooms, so that you can open that. You definitely can get a website up and going on any of those platforms. You can make it look really pretty on any of those platforms. They're easy to use. A lot of them are just drag and drop. So if you are just starting and you have a small budget, I encourage you, it's better to have a website on any of those platforms than not have a website at all. You need a website. Those platforms are easy to use, so you're able to do it yourself, which is super cool, because when you do start up a business, you are doing a lot of things on your own, trying to figure out until you start really building some revenue. So I see nothing wrong with using those other platforms. Now, for me, my favorite is WordPress. And if you reach out to me, I'm always going to try to talk you into that route, because that castle that you bought, that you got a key to a few of the rooms, WordPress actually gives you the keys to everything. So even if you are not currently, you may not need all the functionality that WordPress has. I get it. But as your business grows, I promise you, things are going to come up, things are going to change. You're going to come up with new ideas. And that website that you started maybe on another platform that was easy drag or drop may not have that capability. And so now you're stuck, right? Because now you can't do anything. You have to start all over. If you decide to go from your current website to WordPress, you can't just download those files and upload them into WordPress. You have to start over. Where if you start on WordPress, or if you're on WordPress and you want to come up with a different theme to make it look different, you have all your files, everything is there. You don't have to start from scratch. You just can build on what you currently have. Hey, Dawn, and I've got Lori here too. Lori, you're a WordPress fan. It's awesome. You get all the keys. So if you want to add a calendar, or in my case, I have the membership access where you can sign on to be a member of the Entrepreneur Society. And it will automatically send out payments. Like the membership is there. I've got some pieces of my website that are blocked, that if you are not a member, you're not able to access any of the resources. But if you are a member, you're able to log in and see a whole other back end of videos and trainings that we've been doing every month for quite a while now. So you can do this on WordPress. Or WordPress. You can do a lot of things on WordPress. So that's why I'm a huge advocate for it. Now, if you're sitting here thinking that, well, you know what, Deanna, like I'm on Wix or Squarespace right now and it's working for me, then great. Don't switch. If it's working for you, that's great. When it comes to search engine optimization, WordPress again has so many other features, but everybody wants something different and needs something different. I've had some people just say, listen, I just need something out there to direct my clients to. Not interested in people finding me. I'm not interested in getting it out there. I know it's more of like an online pamphlet. Cool. Any of those platforms are going to work for you. It's not a problem. Stay there, right? But if you want your website to work as an additional salesperson, if you want to be found by people that don't know that you really exist, that's when SEO is super important. Excuse me. That's when SEO is really, really important. So that people who don't even know that you're here and they want your product or they need your product or they need your service, now they're able to find you and you didn't have to do anything. So that was my answer to her as far as which platform should you start on. Again, no wrong answers, no great answers, but I will always say WordPress. That's for me. I'm just curious, like if anybody, what your thoughts are on WordPress or Squarespace. I mean, Squarespace, I say, would be the next one that I would go to down from there. It has a little bit more flexibility, but the other ones, I'm just not a fan. Like if I'm going to invest time and money in a site, I really want that site to work for me. And it's not just about having a pretty website on the front end. That's great. Anyone can do that. It's the stuff that goes on the back end that you don't see. That's so important. So I do want to share with you that tomorrow we've got, I don't know if have you guys been watching my Fearless Entrepreneurship Lives? I was going on Monday through Friday, and now I'm going on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, just to give a little bit breather and that I can actually promote some of the people who are coming on, some of the guests a little bit, because there have been some awesome people. Lori has been on a couple times, and she's scheduled to come back on with me. And tomorrow I have Edie Clark, who's coming on. I met Edie at a conference in Chicago that we both were speaking at, and she is a video rock star. She has this really cool way that she can actually help you edit your videos and record you. And I'm going to have her explain that tomorrow because it's so cool. But we're going to be talking also about how to connect when it comes to video. So tomorrow she is going to be on. I had Ayana on Wednesday, and Ayana Simone is an amazing young woman. She wrote her first book. She actually wrote her first book at 12. Her second book, which was her first published, was at 17. And she's currently working on a second published book right now. So it's in the works. And her story about knowing what she wanted and how she's going after it is just awesome, because I kind of laugh because I'm like, gosh, I wish I knew at 17 exactly what I wanted to do, and I just followed that. But it took me a long time to figure it out and to get to where I am. It wasn't as a clear, easy path as it was for Ayana Simone, but she is an awesome chick. So be sure to check her video out. You can find the videos either on Facebook or on my YouTube channel. And I have some amazing people next Monday. I have actually somebody in finance. So if you are like in the construction industry where you have a high ticket item, I definitely encourage you to hop on, or if you're a restaurant owner or if you have to purchase equipment, he is going to have a lot of information for startups, right? How to get a loan. You are able to get a loan if you need a loan, and their platform is a little bit more flexible, but we're going to talk about all the different programs. And I had no idea there were so many programs out there for business loans and the way to structure it. It's not just getting a loan and making your payment and finding the best interest rate, which is what I thought. There are some really cool workarounds that I'm going to have him share with me and all of you on Monday. So be sure to catch that either at 11 a.m. Mountain Time or 1 p.m. Eastern. And Lori, I love chatting with you too. It's so much fun. This is a blast having everybody come on. If you want to be a guest on here, make sure you reach out to me. Reach out to me and let's set up a date. Let's come up with a topic of what you want to talk about. And definitely I'll get you scheduled because I so much great information. I've learned a lot from it, right? And there's so much great information that everybody has been sharing with my audience, which I think is awesome. And I'm super grateful for that. They're taking time out of their schedule to actually join me for 30 minutes on Fearless Entrepreneurship Live so that we can just bring everybody some more information, more valuable information so that it helps your business grow, right? At least you're aware of what to do, how to do it, and you're given all the tools. Now it's up to you to reach in the toolbox and actually use it when you're ready. So any questions out there? I love all your comments and all the that are going on, but where are your questions? I know you guys have questions. So I know we usually keep this one a little bit short, usually around 15 minutes just to come on and ask anything. So I'm going to hang a little bit more to see if anybody has questions. In the meantime, I am hanging out here in Montana. It's really nice out. I think, like I said, I think it's a little cool. And Biggie's over here. You guys all know Biggie by now. Every time I talk, Biggie has to come up and get in the picture. It's like he always has to join me for some of my lives. And if you've seen me before, been part of my group coaching sessions, you know that Biggie always seems to make an entrance. So, oh, you know what? There is another thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about. And what it is your social media, just your digital marketing. I had this question as well earlier, actually. Somebody was coming up with a digital marketing strategy, right? They're just launching a business and they were told that they needed to be on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn and Twitter. Now, they decided to not go on Twitter. That was because it said they felt like the learning curve was a lot different, which it is. But they aren't very familiar with any of the platforms. So this isn't something that they had to learn Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn from the start. So my advice, if somebody tells you this is where you need to be on all these sites. You need to be doing this on Facebook and this on Instagram and this on LinkedIn and this on Twitter and whatever. You don't, okay? Be where you're supposed to be. And you'll know that by whoever it is you're targeting, what the best platform for that will be. Typically, it is Facebook, but not in every case. Every business is a little bit different. And don't listen to everybody that you have to be at all these different platforms because you're going to get overwhelmed. You truly are. If you're trying to learn more than one platform at a time, you're going to get a lot. You're going to get overwhelmed and frustrated, and you're not going to do anything, right? So my advice to you always is start on that one platform, the most important platform for your audience, where your audience is going to be, and get really good at that, get comfortable at that, right? And when you're in a good place on marketing on the one platform and being consistent, right? That's the most important, is to be consistent on what you're doing, then add the additional platform. Don't feel like you need to do everything at all. Lisa, that's what I need help with getting started. You know what a lot of people do, they're not really sure like where to start and what to do. And everybody, again, their situation is a little bit different, because the things that I will talk to you about, if you call me and say, I don't know where to start, what should I do? We're going to first talk about your product or your service. We're going to find out who you're targeting and where you need to be when it comes to social media. We're going to talk about your website, right? And what that's going to look like. And then we're going to talk about email campaigns, right? And getting those set up. And a lot of people don't bother initially with emails because they feel they have other stuff to do. My advice is start now with collecting those emails, because that's your database. Those are the people who are saying that they like you, know you, and trust you. So definitely start building those emails. And that's where I would guide you. But Okay, so Lisa, you're saying you're not very techy. Okay, so I would only probably baby step with you, right? Let's do one thing and get it right and get you comfortable with it, and let's do the other. Now, there are some things that are going to go across the board, but we're going to simplify it. Now, if you are super techy and you are totally into social media and you understand how to really optimize your social media page, how to actually create content for the audience that's on that platform, then you may get a bigger to-do list than somebody like you, Lisa, where you're not techie, so you're kind of figuring it all out. And a lot of people are in your position. The woman I spoke to a couple days ago was exactly in your position. She wasn't techie, but she kept being told from all these people that she needed to be all these platforms and she needed to be doing all this stuff. And that's not bad information. That's not bad advice. You do have to eventually, but you don't have to do it all at once. I don't want anybody to ever feel overwhelmed, because when we're overwhelmed, then we stop doing things, right? Whatever it is. We got Lori. Yes, agree. Consistent on one platform will help manage and mastering others. That is a great starting point. And Lori should know too, because she's been doing this for years and she works with other businesses as well. So she absolutely knows. And that's why I keep having her on. I love having her on. I love chatting with you, Lori. And yes, Lisa, you're right. It can absolutely paralyze you when you have too much to do. So baby step it. Listen, tune everybody out. Everybody is always going to give you advice. Some advice is going to be really good and some advice is just going to suck, right? So don't feel like you need to do everything that everybody is telling you to do. You don't, right? Start where you're comfortable and then grow from that. Come up with a real game plan, who you're targeting, how you're targeting them. You have to know all that first. So once you know that, then you're going to know where you need to be on which platform and start there. Just start there. Don't feel overwhelmed. Please don't feel overwhelmed. So, and if you're part of Fearless Entrepreneurship, my Facebook group, feel free to ask questions in there. If I don't answer it, then other people will. Other business owners will give you their input and advice of what's worked for them and what's not. Again, listen to your gut too of what to do. I think that is so important to really listen to your gut, because you already have the answer. What is this? How do you feel like pandemic COVID-19? If that question is in regards to businesses and what's going on with them, I feel bad for a lot of businesses and how this has impacted them. I know some businesses have done really well because they've capitalized on the needs with the change. And I know some businesses have really been hurt. And, I feel bad for those that have been hurt. I do believe that we're going to see a lot of cool products and cool businesses come out of this need. I do think that things are going to look a little bit different moving forward after this pandemic is completely lifted, whenever that will be. But I also see a community that has come together and has really tried to help each other. So that's my personal opinion on it. I just want everybody to be healthy and safe. And I love what I'm seeing from a lot of people when it comes to family and spending quality time together and businesses helping businesses. I think that's pretty cool. Colleen, Fearless Entrepreneur, so helpful. Thank you. Colleen, you're another one. You've been on my show. You've been my right hand. You helped me with projects. I'm so grateful for you. And I appreciate that Fearless Entrepreneurship has been helpful for you. And I agree. If you are not in that group, be sure to hop over there and join it, because there are some amazing business people in there that will share tips and tricks and share their videos and what have you. The goal is that we're all on the same boat, right? We're all entrepreneurs. We may have side hustles. We may have a full-time job. We maybe have that one job that we're trying to get out of our full-time job, or this may be what's really paying our bills. So we're all in a very similar position. So that's a place where you can ask your questions and, network with other business owners and get some really cool stuff, get information, right, to help you out. And there's no cost to be in Fearless Entrepreneurship in that Facebook group. If you want to be part of the trainings that are monthly. That's the Entrepreneur Society, which you can go to my website and join. And we have Dariana Lozano, who this month she is talking about the 4 ways to beat the algorithm and increase your profits or your leads by 500%. It's a long title. She knows it's a really long title. Dariana is awesome, but that's what she's teaching, is mainly on Instagram this month is where she's going to be focusing, but I think she'll touch on others as well. But how to really impact and change from the old ways to the new ways. So if you are a member of the Entrepreneur Society, her workshop and her amazing book, hey, Dariana's here, and her amazing workbook is already uploaded in the portal. And she's at the bottom of the screen. That's Dariana. She is a rock star. She lives in New York City. So New York is really getting hit with this COVID-19 a little bit more than we are, a lot more actually than we are here in Montana. But she is the trainer, and in about 40 minutes is our group coaching session, and Dariana is going to be in charge of that, answering your questions for the members of the Entrepreneur Society. So that's going to be flipping amazing because she, like I said, she's a rock star. So I don't have any more questions. Let's see. If you guys have a question, ask it. Gone a little bit over my short little time frame. Hi, Jenny. I love seeing everybody hop on and join in. If you're watching this on the replay and you have a question, by all means, ask the question. I'll be more than happy to answer it for you. And we have 10 o'clock Entrepreneur Society. Well, actually, depending on what time zone you're in, 40 minutes. You have the Entrepreneur Society group coaching session with Dariana. And then I have my guest later at 11 a.m. Mountain Time or 1 p.m. Eastern. Edie Clark, definitely tune in for that, because if you're doing video, which I hope that you are doing video, she is going to give a lot of insight. If you've thought about having a YouTube channel, if you've thought about going live, if you're curious how to connect with your audience by using video, you definitely want to join in, and feel free to ask Edie any questions. I'll be talking to her as well, but definitely join me at 11 Mountain, 1 o'clock Eastern. So hope you guys all have a great Friday, and I will catch a lot of you in the next session. So take care, have a great weekend, and I'll see you in a few.